Hey everybody, welcome to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast, episode 44, call to the Clubhouse number 3. We have head assistant coach for Fresno State, Ryan Overland. He'll be a call-in, and we also have Oscar Hirschkorn, the head coach of Fresno Pacific University. But before that, we want to get into some high school updates. Sally?
I didn't see a lot of scores posted yesterday. It looked like a lot of games were canceled due to rain. So most of them are playing today. You'll have to go look on Twitter, find out what your local teams are playing. But yesterday you had Clovis High at Bullard. Clovis won that 1-0.
That was a bad game.
It was interesting.
It was terrible baseball.
It was interesting. I'm more glass half full kind of guy.
I'm like, this is bad.
I mean,
like, it was bad. It was bad baseball. I mean, the way they scored shouldn't have happened. I mean, the swings and misses. And I'm not saying that, I coach at Clovis West. I'm not saying we're any better. But it's just, I think baseball's bad. Just all around, everywhere. It's just bad baseball. You have guys that are just believing into this home run swing, kind of. They aren't. It's not about the team. Their swings don't look like it's about the team.
What I noticed more than anything was a major lack of adjustment.
Yeah.
It's really long. I mean, I don't know how hard either guy was throwing, but maybe low 80s.
Yeah, Bullard guy was for sure low 80s.
He threw a lot of strikes too. I mean, He was in the zone, aggressive, and I was kind of surprised that there wasn't more adjustments made. Guys shortening up. I mean, I still saw leg kicks with some guys with 2 strikes and just kind of selfish swings, I guess. But who am I to say? That's why I don't. They're not my teams. It's not what. It's not the approach I would take. I thought Bullard had numerous opportunities to manufacture a run, and it just never happened. Especially early, when the goal is to score first. I saw opportunities, I think, the first 3 innings for them to score first, and ended with a pop-up strikeout.
Yeah.
With no outs. You get 2 leadoff doubles, I think. And so there's things like that where I just don't understand, but we just do things differently, that's all. And that's a matter of opinion. So
Oh yeah. That's what this is. It's all of our opinion, and
yeah, I don't want to say they're wrong. That may just not be their strength. If their strength's not manufacturing.
Well, it's not working out.
No, I mean
they're
that's
not beating anybody.
That's something you got to do, and that just goes back to the years of baseball. You got to be able to get guys over, and especially if you're struggling offensively. If you're, a base hit is not scoring a guy from second base anymore all the time.
No.
And guys aren't getting base hits enough to where I'd feel comfortable leaving a guy at second base. Hell, even with 1 out, right? I'll try to drag base hit, get a guy to third base with 1 out and make it 2 outs. Because now a pass ball scores him. With 2 outs, it's no guarantee a base hit scores a guy from second.
Yeah.
In high school. So, we're trying to get to third as quickly as possible. And then you got a chance,
I agree.
Ground balls are errors, So, yeah, there were some things I was kind of surprised with, and then CP, it looked like he was ready to run some offense, but he couldn't get anybody on base. Guys just weren't getting on base for him to do anything, And the one time they did, who was it that got picked at second? Was it Beal?
Yeah, Beal got picked and scored.
And they threw the ball away. I mean, at least at some point he was saying, we can't just sit here and wait for somebody to get a base hit. He wasn't waiting anymore. He made an aggressive play and it worked out. So
yeah, I think it was by accident.
Well, yeah,
He's not very fast.
Yeah, no, but it should have been caught. And maybe that's what they were thinking too. He's not going to run here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of surprised by the lack of adjustment at the plate.
And it's all over. It's not just those 2 teams. It's high school baseball. It's the mentality going around nowadays.
We're still struggling here, okay? And we've kind of forced adjustments the last week and a half.
Yeah.
And they've looked a lot better, right? We've forced it. It's their way is no longer going to be the way. And then there's more to that than just saying we forced it. We've done obviously different things to make it happen, but I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you force it on your guys, or are you going to have to? I don't know what your guys' approaches are.
No, I can't force anything on them. I don't have that control over my guys. I've told them, when we get 2 strikes, you have to do a 2-strike approach. You have to spread out, and some guys do it, some guys don't. But I can't say do it or you're not going to play. Yeah. I'm not the head coach.
Well, I think that's, and I don't know if that's the way to do it either. But I know.
If I was the head coach, I'd probably say that, because I'm not afraid to.
Well, at what point do you want to stop hitting?
Well, I'm not afraid to lose games with guys that are going to buy in.
Shouldn't be.
I don't care about winning.
We're not here.
It's not about. That's the thing. It's not about winning baseball games and winning titles. And at our level that we coach, it's about preparing these kids for life and after baseball. And I think there's a poor job of that going around the valley. We're not preparing these kids enough for life. And with baseball being a game of failure, it's life is a game of failure. You wake up and you go to work, and you might hate your bosses. It's the same thing with baseball. You're gonna have to fail and pick yourself up, and but you just keep letting these kids do whatever they want and get by. They're gonna have a rude awakening when they get in the real world. And I think we just need to do a better job as coaches at preparing them for life and not worry about wins and losses. Because guess what? There's drug testing in college, and you get popped, you're done. Yeah. There's no, he's got a suspension. No, you're done. I don't care if the school has a policy. You have to go to school. You don't have to play baseball. Baseball is an extracurricular activity that should be a privilege. If you do something illegal, see you later.
I agree. And I know we have some policy here with our school, and our kids do a contract, and we try to match what the school policies are. I know we've had some things happen here in the past, but we'll see. I don't know. That's it's a cultural thing too. It's some coaches are limited to what they can do.
Well, then
some of it should fall on parents.
I get that, but the coaches need help from the athletic directors,
or the schools themselves
need help from the administration.
Right.
It can't be the kids running the school, the kids running the program, the parents running everything as well. It's got to be the administration, coaches. They need to stick together and have a plan of what they're doing. A parent can't come in and be like, "This guy's not playing Johnny, so we need to do something about it," and them have the power to do something with like the school board or something. Like a parent might have some big name with the school board and be able to do something. That shouldn't happen. It should, like I said, sports is an extracurricular activity. If you're good, you're good. If you're not, work harder. Just work harder. Or if you're a parent and you think Johnny needs to play, why don't you go watch a practice? See if he is one of the best guys out there. I know all these parents nowadays, they think little Johnny's the best and he's, going to be this big leaguer. Well, we talked about it yesterday. If we have all these big leaguers playing high school baseball,
where are they at?
Yeah. Where are they? Where all these? We have like 5 or 6 Division I scholarship guys out there. But we have all these big league kids that are, they're going to be big leaguers.
Well, they're being told they're.
That's what I'm saying. We need to let's bring them down to earth and be like, look, it takes a lot of work to get to the big leagues. We're nowhere close. I wanted to play big leagues in the big leagues. Yeah. But was that my thought process when I was in high school? No way. I wasn't like, I'm going to be a big leaguer right now. No, I was going to go to JUCO. I wanted to be the best JUCO guy.
Well, it was being the best where you were at in that moment.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the way it should be. Real quick, Carruthers posted a score from yesterday, 15-6 over Mendota, and Selma 9-2 over CVC. Like I said, that was the only scores I could find that were posted. If there's more out there, just tag us to them, or we'll keep looking at everybody's stuff. And then Friday night, Clovis West. Are you guys at North?
At North.
This is the game of the week. It'll be on the Mixler app, broadcasted live. So check that out. And Brink did a good job with that last game with you guys and Garrett beating. I thought that was pretty good.
Bullard plays Memorial, but Bullard, their guy just got hurt yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. And he looked pretty. I hadn't seen him pitch, and just in his warm ups, I was like, "Whoa!"
He looked really good till he hurt his groin. And I guess me and you are the only guys that saw it in the whole stadium.
I saw John. John saw it too.
So,
yeah, that was interesting. That whole.
I mean, we're sitting there, and the coaching staff isn't even watching his warm up pitches, and he still threw like 2 more pitches. Had the catcher come out and talk to him, and then get ready to go.
And then threw a first pitch.
And then threw 1 pitch, and he was done.
Couldn't do it. Yeah, I hope he's okay, man. He looks like a dude on the bump.
Honestly, he was their shot to beat Memorial. Honestly, that's what I think. With how good Memorial is, Rangel is their best guy. He was
he was no joke. I was telling Woody, I was like, this kid's good, man.
Yeah.
And I like that lefty they brought in was pretty decent.
Yeah, Appleford was really good. Had a good curveball. He came in and faced Beal.
And then the last kid that just came and jumped in, was it Cunnings?
Cunnings.
He just threw strikes, man. He got after it. I thought their pitching was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't see Preston at all. He's their center fielder.
Didn't you say he was hurt? Maybe
I don't know.
Oh, no? Okay.
I don't know. He was their center fielder, and he came in and shut us down pitching wise. I thought he was pretty good, but I didn't see him at all yesterday.
Yeah, that'll be a good matchup. But yeah, leagues open up Friday, I think, for most schools.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting to be getting caught up on. So yeah, we'll have to see how that all plays out in the next couple weeks. But last night you hit me up with some news.
Yep.
And kind of going back to what we were just talking about with parent involvement. And again, we want our parents involved. I can only speak for our program, right? I don't want to.
And I'm not saying parents shouldn't be involved. They should be involved in the program, but they don't need to try to have a say in what the coaches
and as far as playing time's concerned, we don't have those conversations here.
No, you don't. And I know that firsthand.
And if we do, we encourage it to be between player and coach from the get-go.
It's another part of growing up.
And from there, we'll reassess and maybe talk further about it. But the initial conversation is player-coach in private, not in front of the team.
Yeah.
And we try to evaluate throughout the fall and kind of let guys, we'll let them know where they're at. And, I've been pretty honest with most of the guys this year, and I think our team's responded really well. And I know Andy's not afraid to play anybody at any time. He doesn't care.
No.
Winning is obviously it's important. We want to win, right? We're competing to win games, but we're not going to base the success of a year and future on wins and losses. When we see kids, we've had a couple enter the military and there's a lot of different things that we look forward to when they leave here, and supporting them in other ways. So I think it's a time where parents could take a step back.
They need to.
And let that. I'm sure it's hard. My kids are young, so I'm not there yet. But I can imagine moments where.
But the parents that are doing stuff aren't like parents that played college baseball, professional baseball. They're parents. They're just regular parents that didn't play the game of baseball, that are complaining about it, that don't understand the work ethic that goes into it.
Well, so go ahead and share. So what you saw.
Well, it was Michael Garza, Washington Union, was relieved of his duties as head coach at Washington Union. I think this was year 2 for him.
As of yesterday?
Yesterday, that was the post from Matt Garza I saw on Instagram. He posted it. And then like 30 minutes later, he posted a piece of paper that they're having a board meeting tonight. Today's Wednesday, the 11th, March 11th. They're having a board meeting tonight and trying to get people to go in. And they didn't even say why he got fired. So that's what they want, to go into the board meeting and see, why did this guy even get fired? And we played him in the fall, and I've known Michael for a long time. I knew Matt. I thought he was doing a great job at Washington Union. You know, he's a hometown boy. He played there. His brother was going out there helping. You know, that's a big league guy right there for, 10 plus years. And I don't know. I think that somebody got involved when they shouldn't have. And
well, what was was it playing time?
Yeah, it was over playing time.
For a handful, do you even know? Or
no, it was just
minor details of it had to do with kids not happy with.
Yeah, playing time. And
what is Batesell's?
It had nothing to do with success of the program. It just had to do with my little Johnny's not playing.
And nobody cares.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't.
But that's the diff, right? That's important. I think that's why I'm like having Batesell on to say those things. You know, obviously, this, certain things need to get out to people more. I don't know how we do that, but right, if your kid is apparently should be starting and is not, and we've got to raise a stink about it. Obviously, that kid's not ready to go play anywhere beyond high school.
Well, not only that, what high school coach is going to deliberately not play
his best players?
One of their best players.
Dude, he came out here. We played him in the fall, like you said, and I thought he was enthusiastic.
He was hard. He was tough.
He was getting after it in the fall.
Yeah, I loved it. I was happy. I was happy for Washington Union. They're finally getting a coach, young, that was going to be there for a long time.
He had a heck of a schedule for Division 5.
Oh yeah.
And they competed. I think they're like 5, 5-4 or 5-5 or 6-5 or 6-4, somewhere in there. And it was fun talking to him, and he was excited, man. Like,
yeah.
He said there were some guys they didn't have out yet, and he seemed ready to go. And for me as a coach, and I've been doing this a while, it's one of the hardest things to do is to get assistant coaches, right? Let alone find a head coach willing to put the time and work and effort in for virtually nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going to find a replacement? I could tell you right now, if something happened with Andy like that, I could.
No, none of you guys would.
I don't know if any of it. I don't know, from freshman to varsity, we probably all walk.
Yeah.
Because there's a sense of loyalty to, and that wouldn't happen here. We got our AD's phenomenal. Our administrations, they're behind Andy 100%. But I don't know if we would all. I can't speak for the rest of the guys. I just have a feeling that they wouldn't
stick around.
No, and I don't. And again, Andy's not in that situation, but and I think we're pretty good about being honest with our players, and we encourage them to come talk to us, especially about stuff like that. If they want to know where they're at, we have no problems being honest with that. And maybe that's something that should have happened. And so in this regard with Washington Union, what happens now, right? If somebody comes in and now little Johnny's playing over the kids that were playing, you've dismantled that team, right?
Oh, yeah.
That those kids are now going to be pissed because this is what happened. Now this guy's playing over me when he's not better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think their season it's going to be a tough road going forward. We'll have to wait and see, because I know I'd have an issue with that as a player.
Yeah, when the dust settles, maybe we'll get him on the phone. But
interesting. We'll have to stay tuned. So they're meeting tonight, right, with the board, and
yeah, they're trying to get the whole city or something. Whoever
so
wants
decision's not technically final?
Oh, no, he was relieved of his duties. They're trying to go to the board to see why.
Okay. Well, interesting. This will be out Thursday, so the news will probably be out already.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. Moving on to Fresno State, we're going to get Coach Overland on and talk about their last weekend. Their game got canceled last night. They'll be playing tonight.
5 p.m.
5 p.m. against UOP out of Stockton. So just hang on tight. We'll get Coach Ryan Overland on the line.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast. We're here with head assistant coach and pitching coach Ryan Overland. Thanks for joining the show, Ryan.
Absolutely.
We just wanted to talk to you, just give us what's going on with the season so far. You guys started out, 8-4 before the last road series, and you were hot. I think won the last 7 in a row before heading to Arizona State. So just kind of give us a little bit of, how things are going with you guys, and so far with how you guys have played compared to what you might have thought you guys would have been at this point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Through 4 weekends, I think going into it with a tough schedule with Irvine, Washington at Arizona State last weekend, I think the only thing we expected going into it was just kind of find out who we are and what kind of team we have and where we're at. And we've definitely been challenged. We're sitting here at 8-7, definitely feel like we should have a couple more wins, but that's the same if you're 12-3, you'd feel like you should have a couple more too. So we've been definitely challenged and, kind of found a lot about ourselves. And anytime you take a trip to top 10 team in the country and face a lineup of a bunch of juniors and a top 5 overall pick, you find a lot out about you guys and what you can do and what you can get away with and what you can't, because we're trying to basically ultimately win our conference, and to do that you got to face some good competition, and we've definitely been challenged so far. So as long as we've learned some lessons along the way and gotten better from those, it'll play out in the long run for us.
It looked like you guys battled all weekend. It wasn't no blowouts or anything. Sunday you guys were kind of back and forth, and then towards the end there kind of got away a little bit, but it looks like you guys were in that series all the way through.
Yeah, definitely. I think both Friday and Saturday, and we were tied in the 8th on Friday, and then they got a 2-out hit to score a run, and then tied the 6th or 7th on Saturday, and they got a hit to take the lead. We made an error, and then they got a 3-run home run right after, and kind of score got a little away. But we were right there and felt like had a chance to win all 3 games. But that's just when you're playing good competition and playing at that high level, that 1 or 2 pitches can really swing things. Real quick, and the margin of winning or losing can be a pitch or 2. And that's what hopefully our guys are learning, that every pitch is important, every play is important, and you can't give any outs away, and you can't give extra outs along the way.
Yeah, and you guys have some veteran pitchers, but you also have thrown a lot of freshmen out there and that have had a lot of innings through these games. And I think like you and Baseball both said, you try to put them in situations to succeed, but I think it's a lot tougher with pitchers than with a hitter. With a hitter, you can hit them in a certain time of game, but with a pitcher, when it comes down to it in a 3-game series, you might be using your whole bullpen up. You might have to put them in a stressful situation. But I feel like, a lot of the freshmen have, even though they've had a little rocky start, they've kind of come in clutch a little bit. Like Kendrick's been doing really good for you. Harrell's had some ups and downs, but he's been throwing good. And, your young pitchers are going to grow up a little bit, and I think that's going to help you out when you get into the league.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially those 2 guys you mentioned, Kendrick and Harrell. They've gotten decent amount of appearances here these first couple of seasons, especially for freshmen. And, it's not easy along the way. All of a sudden, it's a big jump, especially for a pitcher, in my opinion, going from high school to college. In high school, 90% of the time, you're just straight better than the hitters you're facing, so you're able to get away with a lot. Now, all of a sudden, you're facing a Division I lineup, and they're going to let you know about the mistakes and get behind the count. You can't quite have those same mistakes you were able to get away with at a lower level, and that's just part of the growing process and learning that. And but we're really happy with them and the progress they're making, and over the course of their 3 years, they're going to be really good.
I was going to ask you too, like getting into, you go to Arizona State, right? You guys come home, you're supposed to play last night, you get rained out, you're going to play tonight, and I'm assuming tomorrow you guys are leaving for Oklahoma.
Yep.
Kind of what are you guys doing throughout the week just to kind of, this has got to be new for all those guys. How do you guys prep them for this kind of stuff?
Yeah, we try to just tell them as much as we can that the only thing you can expect is that something unexpected is going to happen. It was a flight back from Phoenix, got in late Sunday night. These guys get up and go to class and get their bunch of study day Monday. And then really it was probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock when we made the decision to move the game to today. So then we scrambled, try to get a practice in real quick, and kind of scrambling doing that. And then obviously it's game today. And then I think the first flight tomorrow, we got a couple groups going out, but 7 a.m. tomorrow. So no, it's definitely some challenges, and you definitely got to be prepared, think ahead with some stuff. But that's all part of the deal and part of the growing process, and maturing and be able to handle the things you need to do with not just, I mean, we just see them here at the field, but they got school, they got to get food, they got to take care of all their stuff at home too. There's a lot to it, especially with that kind of travel.
I'd be kind of excited though. Like, play tonight and be on a plane tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little big league atmosphere.
No, it is fun. It's fun. I know Ovi's been through it as well. It is fun, like the Tuesday games, especially if you're at home. So it's like road, home, road, like they're doing this week. It's like, man, it feels like a short week of school. Because, I mean, yeah, obviously you go to school and stuff, but just playing games during the season is just a lot of fun. Being able to be on the road, and that's a great bonding experience for the team. That's how you become a closer team, and plus being able to play this tough schedule, that's going to help out too with the veterans. Like Fresno's had a great season, and he's your captain behind the dish, and he's done a great job. And I'm sure a lot of these pitchers are looking up to him to even talk to him about pitches and stuff like that. So I mean, that's just a great part of being on the college baseball team and becoming like what we say brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially the time. Like you said, spending together on these road trips, they're with each other on the bus and to the plane and at the hotel. And that's generally a lot of time where your team can grow together is these types of road trips. And then obviously going to places we're going to Arizona State, go to Oklahoma State, 2 top 25 teams the last 10 years and probably even further than that. Playing in those type of environments, playing top 25 teams in their park, that should be giving us experience and learning some lessons that'll help us in the big picture. We just need to find a way to get some wins in those as well.
I think they're coming. I think you're right on what you said, and even Coach Bates will tell us, why you guys schedule the way you schedule. It is to, come out West time, you're 3 steps ahead.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It helps with the RPI as well. So
absolutely, yeah. And I've been me and Chad were talking like, I know the record may not be glamorous or what you guys expect or what you want, but as far as the way the teams kind of played, man, with some of the questions you had going into the year, I would imagine you're all pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it's definitely not happy sitting at 8-7, but at the same time, if we were 12-3, we'd be going, we should be 13-2 or 14-1 or so on. So, we're at where we're at, and now we got a game today to focus on, and then we'll get on to the next one this weekend. That's the thing. The other great thing about baseball is you get the next game so soon. It's not football once a week or 4 or 5 days basketball. A lot of times it's the next day. You could get on to the next game quick, and that's just what we got to do, is just focus on each game at a time and then get to league and do the same there. And at the end, the result should be in our favor. Yeah,
well, we're proud of you guys. We love coming out, watching you guys play. And I know we watched on the Pac-12 network that some of your guys' games this weekend. So
nice.
Good luck tonight. You guys have UOP. I know Tuesdays are always tough because it's just they're grinding games. Those are grinder games of the week.
Yeah,
and then,
there's no easy games. There's no easy games in college baseball. There's definitely no easy games on the West Coast here. Anybody can beat anybody, and that's why one of the big reasons I think the West Coast may be a little misrepresented in the postseason is there's no easy wins.
No,
there's just
it's talent everywhere.
Tuesday, Wednesday, no matter who you're going to play, somebody in California, they can beat you any day. So we definitely got a challenge tonight, and then we'll move on to the weekend. And definitely appreciate your guys' support and following. And this group, this team's pretty fun. There's a lot of talent, a lot of really good, hardworking players that I think at the end of the year we could see something pretty special with.
Well, we hope so, man. We're excited too, man. We'll be out there as much as we can still, and good luck tonight if we can't make it out, and safe travels this weekend and go get them, and we will be in touch.
And tell Coach Walton I said hi when you get to Oklahoma State.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Ovi, you guys have a good one.
Hopefully, he doesn't have the pitchers he historically has. Hopefully, he's got a down year, and because he's one of the best pitching coaches I've come across.
Yeah, he's pretty good, but you've done a pretty damn good job yourself.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate your support, and anytime.
All right, Ovi.
All right, see you guys.
Later.
It's going to pay off and come down the playoff style.
Yeah, it will.
And then, again, moving right along, is this week 3 of CVC play?
Yeah, I think so.
For info, go to centralvalleyconference.com. They've got everything. You click on the school and it takes you right to their schedule, which was nice.
And then you can go to their box score.
Yeah, you don't have to go through traffic, everything. You just right to their website. You click on the baseball link, then it'll give you the rank, who's in first all the way down to last, and just click on the team and it'll take you right to their schedule. It's a pretty neat deal. But City yesterday topped Porterville. What was that? 18-3.
Close game.
Reedley and Merced played last night. I didn't get the score. I should probably look that up. COS is off this week. Next week they have Fresno City, so that'll be a big series. And West Hills and Taft rescheduled for today, so they didn't even play yesterday. So keep seeing how that goes. I saw COS Reedley pulled that series out last week, Thursday, Saturday, which was huge. I think both of them were. Or Saturday was a one-run game.
Yeah, they were close.
So keep an eye on the CVC conference. And then FPU, we didn't mention last week. They split with Concordia over the weekend in conference. They're 2-2, and overall 13-9. I think they're at Azusa Pacific this weekend for 4 games.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
And then next week they'll be at home hosting a series against Biola. We're going to get Coach Hirschkorn on the line right now, too, so stick around. We'll talk a little FPU baseball.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast, episode 44. We have Coach Oscar Hirschkorn, the head coach at Fresno Pacific University, on the phone. Thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great. I appreciate it.
You guys are 13-9 overall, 2-2 in conference. You have it's a pretty tough Division II schedule, though. You guys have played some tough games, some tough teams. You've battled. You won you swept a series a couple weeks ago, and then you are getting ready to leave for Azusa tomorrow. You were just talking about. So, can you just give everybody a little kind of update about how you guys are doing, how you feel compared to before the season and now, and some highlights of guys that you might not have thought would be where they're at right now?
Yeah, sure. No, we're rolling pretty good this year. I love this team and felt like this about this team all year long. We had one hiccup, and it was early. We went to Chico and laid an egg that weekend, but it's okay. You live and you learn, but there were some issues going on there in that series. We had a couple injuries during that series. We lost, Aguilar hurt his shoulder, but he's been able to bounce back, and Hefner twisted his ankle in the middle of that. So, but defensively, we weren't rolling well, and usually our program's built around pitching and defense, and these last couple of years we've hit really well, but our defense was failing us. So after that series with Chico, we switched some things up. Because of Aguilar's shoulder, we moved him to first, but that solidified first base. Moved Cooper back to short. We were trying to have him at second, Garrett Cooper, because he was going to pitch for us and has done great as we expected. But we moved him to short, Jack Foot to second, and in terms of surprises, Andrew Lackey, he's been rolling all year long. He's such a big physical kid. And he's kind of locked down third base for us. Now, all of a sudden, since that Chico series, I think we were towards the bottom in the league in team defense, and now we're all the way up to third. And we're second in the league in hitting and second or third in pitching. So a lot of things have settled down for us. If you take away that one series, we've been doing pretty well this year. But you can't take it away, right? So we've just got to grow from it.
And being the pitching guy there, how have you felt about your arm so far?
Well, we've done really well. That was the other injury that we took on after Esteban Lisola. He was in our one spot, and he didn't have a good first outing, but the second outing at Chico, he was phenomenal, like he can be. He's a very talented guy with pro possibilities, and he tore his knee up early in the next week. So the week after we came back from Chico, actually that Monday. So he's out for the year. And while that kills us this year, he is a number one type. So on the positive side of things, that's one less rotation guy we've got to go try to recruit for next year. But for this year, we've had a lot of guys step up, and Garrett Cooper was one of them. We were trying to keep Garrett in the bullpen as a closer type, but now he's stepped into the rotation. So now we've got as it goes sometimes with really good athletes, he's playing shortstop and he's pitching the fourth game of every series. But he stepped up, as has the other pitchers. Justin Hughes dominated this year. He keeps getting better and better every week. Matt Stern, transfer from Long Beach City, he's getting better and better every week, and he's up to 94, so he's a really good arm. Cooper, at times, we're just trying to budget that the pitching and position playing with him and his throws during the week, but at times he's upper 80s, touching 90, and then sometimes there's a little bit of fatigue and the velo drop, so we're just trying to master that. Master that. And then Nick Boatman, he's been phenomenal, and he stepped back into the one spot. That's how he finished, and he was fighting off some shoulder stuff in the beginning of the year, and he's done great for us. And he provides that senior leadership, and he's a warrior out there. So,
Yeah, it's got to be difficult to manage the workload of a position / pitcher.
Yeah,
especially at the shortstop position.
Yeah, shortstop too.
Yeah, that's why we were trying, as hard as we could, to keep him away from the left side if we could, because he's a great player and he plays great over there, but it's a little bit of a longer throw. But he hasn't shown much in the way of that affecting him. There's been just a little variance on the velo, but he just pitches every game. But that's what we're trying to do in recruiting. We're trying to get the best athletes, and we do allow the two-way thing, and that's helped us keep good athletes on the mound. And it's really nice to have good athletes on the mound, because it just helps with everything, especially towards the end of games and those pressure situations. They can feel their positions and the like. So.
Yeah, and I was looking, you guys have, I think, 5 or 6 guys batting over 300 right now, and I think Foote was player of the week again for the second time this year already. You guys have gotten the bats going a little bit offensively as well.
Yeah, we were actually dominating offensively, a little bit better in the beginning. Another injury, we lost McGrady, possibly for the year, but Matt McGrady was killing it, average and power. And we were hit pretty hard around that Chico series. So the day after Esteban hurts his knee, Matt injured his thumb, had to have a surgery. So he's probably out for the year. But that affected us a little bit with the offense. And we think we've righted the ship a little bit. We had a couple good games last week against Concordia. We got the offense going. And hopefully we can build on that. We're going to a pretty offensive park. So, but I think we've got some of the guys' swings back in order.
Yeah, well, that's always good. And you got to tell Hefner that a twisted ankle shouldn't keep him out of the game.
Well, that guy's a warrior.
Yes.
He twisted pretty bad, and he only missed 4 games, and he's so athletic, and we've had him at first base most of the time last year. We moved him to the outfield because when he's a 6'8" runner, I
Yeah.
know he's a monster kid, 6'4", 225, 230, but he can really run. In fact, last year he led our team in stolen bases. Him, it's kind of funny, I like saying it, but he and our catcher tied for the team lead in stolen bases last year, Nick Dodd. But yeah, Hef only missed the 4 games. He missed the 1 series, and he's back running around in the outfield, cheaping it out for us as you need if you're going to be, a successful team. You need guys like that think about the team and it can still give you a great effort. But that's actually one of the things I've been excited about this year is Brian's been a little bit limited, and we're still stealing bases. That's a big thing in our program, to be able to get into scoring position without giving up outs.
Yeah, and it also helps, I think some of your guys are picking each other up, knowing that, they're not getting their heads down like McGrady getting hurt. They're picking each other up and trying to stay with it and say, okay, next guy's up. Let's get it going.
Yeah, it's a really high character team. It really is. And, for anybody that hasn't seen us this year, I'd urge you to come out and watch them. I love these guys. I love this team. And, that's part of life too. That's one of the lessons that you hope your players get out of doing this college baseball thing is weathering the storm, facing adversity and not quitting. And I'm proud of these guys for what they've done. Like I said, if you take away that one Chico series, and our guys, even with these injuries, have played good baseball. And I don't think we've played our best baseball yet. So we're excited about, peaking as the season goes here.
Yeah, it's that's going to be the right time, towards middle of the year, getting guys. And Hefner can get on the bump a little bit too if you need him.
He did last year,
yeah,
I think.
We actually pitched him a lot last year. A lot. We had him coming out of the pen last year, but I was getting a little nervous because he's so talented as a position player. I was getting a little nervous. He opened some eyes in the professional baseball, and I got to thinking, as a lot of us coaches do, what could go wrong? You're thinking about all the things that might go wrong, and him hurting his arm and having a setback. I started saying, well, maybe we should start to minimize a little bit of that. And what allowed us to do that is we have a much more complete pitching staff this year, a lot more depth. So even though we lost an Esteban Lizola, which is catastrophic, we've still been able to pitch effectively, and that says a lot about the guys that we have on the pitching staff. I mean, I've already named the 4 starters, but we've got Brady Crow from Clovis North giving us really good innings out of the pen so far this year, and Michael Barker, he's really been dominant, a left-hander out of Taft Junior College. So he's been really good out of the pen too. And both those guys are pushing to get into the rotation, which is what you want. You want competition to get on the bump.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. And, we've been saying there's so much good baseball around here, from, high school to junior college to Division II to Division I. And, it doesn't hurt to get out and watch. If you think you're a JUCO guy, go watch JUCO. If you think you're a D1, go watch D1, D2. You know what I mean? So you can kind of see where you fit. And that always helps out with how much good baseball there is around here in this area.
There really is a lot. I mean, having grown up here, and we've talked about this, all three of us, as have many of your guests, but just proud to be from this area, and our roster is filled with players from this area. And there's a reason why. It's because there's obviously a lot of talent, but there's also a lot of coaches that do a great job preparing these guys for post-high school. And coaches like me, that can reap the benefits of that. So we're appreciative of all the guys putting in all the work in high school and below.
Well, Coach, we thank you for giving us about 15 minutes of your time. I appreciate it. It's getting a little update, and you guys are on the road to Azusa this weekend, but hosting Biola next weekend. So if you're out there you want to get a chance to go see FPU play some baseball, there'll be a 4-game set next weekend at home.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've told the team if we can weather the storms here in March, because we're on the road with a lot of our rivals this month with the Biola series, the one exception at home. If we're still if we do a good job with the month of March and in a position to contend for conference, then we put ourselves in a great spot to have a great end of the 2020 season.
Absolutely. Well,
we'll keep grinding, and
we'll be in contact again. We'd like to get more updates as the season continues, and you guys travel safe down there, and good luck this weekend.
Yeah, I'd love to, and thanks for having me on this time.
You got it, Coach.
All righty.
All right.
And that is a good conference.
It is.
Well, you got Chico, Sonoma's in there also.
Biola, Azusa. I mean, Azusa, I think they lead the nation in homers. They're in the tops and then homers in Division II every year. Like you said, it's a good hitters park. So maybe FPU can get the bats, keep them going, maybe get some more power numbers up. We obviously would like to see Hefner get his first one of the year. But yeah, Oscar, I love talking to him, man. He's just,
all of them.
It's great baseball around here, and we say that a lot, but it's the truth, and great baseball people, and like we said, if you think you're good enough to go on and play, well, go check it out and see how good these players are, and where you think you might stack up.
Yeah, especially if you really want to play. If you want to go play, it's there's baseball around here everywhere. Even if you got to commute for a little bit, Reedley's not that far. Merced's not that far. If you really want to play ball, give it a shot and go watch these games, man. There's enough baseball to go consume and get your eyes on to see what you want to go do. That's pretty much it. We're gonna wrap it up here. You got again pretty much all leagues, high school leagues start this week, and again Clovis West, Clovis North is the game of the week for the Mixler app. So go check that out and catch Brink broadcast that game Friday night. And we'll be back probably again in another week. We'll keep you posted, but that's episode 44 of the Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or Die.